think I know what it is.
Your drop down is flattery is not the same as compliments.
Thank you. But he's going to leave that part for me to read.
Yes.
Hi. Yes. Today we're going to talk about how flattery is not the same as compliments. And boy, I was thinking about, do you feel different when somebody's flattering you or complimenting you? Do you feel different when you're saying something flattering or complimenting to people? And I actually had Siri look it up for me. And flattery, at least under Siri's definition, was overly effusive, not quite sincere things that you are saying that are supposed to sound positive. And Siri thinks that compliments are very sincere and that you have real evidence about the nice things that you're saying about somebody. So that was a place to start, right?
It is a good place to start, yes. But
and certainly in dating, it might be good to figure out if we all have different definitions and you think somebody's saying something nice and it feels weird to them.
Yep.
So we'll get started and welcome you to the new streamingnetwork.com, WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcast #1 internet singles talk network. And this is Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Christine.
I think we very much compliment each other and not so much flattery when we do our podcasts.
That's a different spelling, though.
That's true.
Yes.
We compliment each other in the way that we podcast together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's really a nice balance. We both talk about how much we look forward to doing this every week.
Absolutely. And yeah, and the thing is also for me, I was talking to somebody earlier today who's a follower of our work. And I was just sharing about how it really sort of happened almost serendipitously, during the pandemic, and I wasn't planning to join, but CC, our producer, found me, and your co-host have been somewhat inconsistent, and so we connected up, and that was 5.5 years ago.
I know. CC was our matchmaker.
Yes. Props to her.
I know, because I had seen your videos a lot, because they were up there a lot, and I kept going, oh my God, I can't do that thing by myself, and he just looks so comfortable doing it. And then, so then when she suggested, I go, I don't know him at all. And I don't know if he knows me, but I sure am aware of him because I've seen a lot of his videos and we just fit right together. It was just perfect. Yeah. And I do tell people, I said, they go, are you guys a couple? I go, no.
Nope.
First, no. And second, we've learned we're so not each other's people. We would not be compatible in a romantic situation. Because I do see there's a couple couples out there that do coaching of couples and they're in a relation, they're married. But what's so amazing is the complementary for this that we do. What I tell people is I think one of the reasons we have so many people that are admirers and listen to us and watch us so much is because you get the male-female perspective. I mean, how wonderful is that? Because you don't get that in the single world very often. Because I'll tell women this is what men think, but now they get to hear it out of your voice.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So this week.
Mm-hmm. So the subject this week. So sometimes people don't know what to say nicely to somebody, like to really say something about them that would feel like you want to compliment them. And sometimes it can just feel insincere when you're saying it, or it can feel insincere to the person that's receiving it. And I now know that it might be because you're coming from the flattery place and
Right.
that you're just trying to reach for something that feels real. I mean, I compliment people on their shoes and their jewelry and their handbags and their ties and stuff all the time because it's just who I am. If you stand within 2 feet of me, I'm probably going to at least say hello. And I mean it very sincerely. And I pick out something that I think they on purpose wore or said or are doing. But there are times even I miss lots of verbs, lots of words come out of my mouth that I would find myself, if I was going to say something, I might have to reach a little and it might not feel as sincere. And maybe that would feel more like flattery. I'm watching your face do a whole bunch of stuff over there. Well, I'm ready for your words.
The thing is interesting because flattery is sometimes so unflattering in the sense that flattery is often a weaselly way to get into somebody's good books, It's condescending. It's so not appropriate. And so when people flatter somebody else, it has a hollowness to it. That's what we're looking for. Whereas compliments not that you throw them around all the time, but when you compliment somebody authentically, it lands. It has depth to it, fullness to it. It actually lands at some sort of level of being received. With flattery, oftentimes it's almost like, shoo fly, get away from me, sort of thing. It doesn't feel real. So the difference for me is very, very. It's a feeling level difference.
I think that's really true. And I think the feeling level is also, this thing about you, or it's not you.
Yeah.
And you might just not know it and not believe it, because that can certainly happen, where you men say the nicest things to us. And if we don't think that about ourselves, even though you mean it truly, it can't go inside. We really will block it. We really will send it away, which is so sad, because I tell women that generally, if it's a good man and he is saying something complimentary to you, something positive, it's what he sees or hears or feels about you. And take note if you don't see or hear or feel that about you, because maybe you need to do some inner work about that to get more comfortable with who you are and what you said or how your body looks, because they're really being very sincere. You guys are kind of allergic to lying. But what we women do is we teach you to lie, because then we deflect the thing you said. And then you're like, well, she didn't like that, so I won't say that. Or we ask your opinion and then we argue with your opinion. So then we teach you to not say your opinion again. So it's a challenge and if we just didn't stay in the compliment part. It's a challenge. If you want to say something sincerely and we go, no, this old thing, oh, I got it on sale. It's terrible what we do. Look at you, because we all do that. I used to do it all the time.
Well, the most overt one that comes up is like when a woman is wearing, trying on a dress and she says to her husband, "Do you look fat in this dress?" Do you want the truth or you want compliments or flattery? because the challenge is that we often don't know as men how to tread carefully sometimes, because we know our woman has feelings that we can't even fathom. And so the level of truth we present can have destructive effects or combative effects on her feelings. So we're very cautious that way. For most men, it's not something we can just throw around comfortably. And whereas women with each other, there's almost like no barrier whatsoever. It's almost like women can talk to each other, but it's like heart to heart, honesty, compliments, all this stuff is just no big deal. And there's honesty there, but we daren't cross that river.
Full of landmines.
Exactly.
I was trying to, there's a cute couple on Instagram that when she asks, and it's all put up, they do this on purpose to have us watch them, but she'll ask him a question. He'll go, so do you want the really nice answer, the husband answer, or the real answer? And she'll ask for all three. And they're so funny because they're so real.
Yeah.
Because he gives real husband, real nice, and real. And she always ends up laughing, but it's so the truth. But boy, that's when, if we get off the subject just a second and say, when we want to do, you want to vent or do you want advice? So finding out ahead of time, tell me the kind of answer you want. Because does this dress make my butt look fat? I tell every woman, never, ever, ever ask that question, because you've got a mirror, you know what you look like, you know what you feel like. Tell him, don't I look great in this dress? Don't you like this dress on me? Don't you like this? He'll go, oh yeah, wear it every day. So you help him help you. That's the thing. When you give him this wide open thing, he's like, I don't know what to, because then if you go, well, it's a little tight. Well, that's mean. It's terrible, but you asked,
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting.
And there's no winning. It's like, no. Do anything in the first place to say, yeah. So definitely, thank you.
You're not getting sex that night.
Yeah. But definitely let the man know what you're fishing for. Because if you're just saying, how do I look? He's going to go, well, the best thing to say is you look great. But the thing is, if you say, do you look bad in it? It's not going to be very safe for him to respond, because he knows he's going to tell the truth or he's going to be dishonest, but complimentary, it gets messy. So, yeah, doing the favor of letting him have a chance to respond safely.
Wait, one of the things I talk to women about a lot is, let's set him up for success.
Mm-hmm.
what helps him set him up for success? Because if he succeeds in whatever it is you think you want him to do, you're going to be happier. So we're going to make it all about you too. It's all about you. If you set him up for, this is what I really need to have you say, or the kind of things I like hearing. And it's still the truth, because generally you think we look fine in everything. You like us in nothing and in almost anything else. I mean, maybe baggy sweats 24/7 wouldn't be your favorite thing, but generally you like that we wear dresses. You like that we wear pants that show our cute butt. You like that we wear high heels. You're fine that we wear flat shoes. I mean, the few men that I've talked to that really have an opinion are very small. That if we are dressed in something that makes us feel great and we feel sexy and hot, you're going to like it too.
Mm-hmm.
So if we set you up of, what do you think? I like this. Do you like this? You're going to go, yep, like it. Because you really are meaning that you really do like it.
And it's also safer because we know that we're on the same page as you.
Yeah, boy.
You know.
So having your radar up of, are you being sincere and is the other person being sincere? And now, at least at this moment, if you watch or listen to this, you have some words to separate it to what feels insincere could now be the word flattery, and what feels sincere could be compliments. Because if you get a bunch of flattery from someone, that's part of the breadcrumbing when somebody's just trying to get on your good side or just have sex with you, and that's not what you want. And this isn't really landing. I'm not really sure. Is this really the truth? Or they're saying things I don't think that about me. Then now you have a word, that's flattery. And can they get sincere and give you a real sincere compliment or not? I think it could be another vetting tool when people are dating.
It is challenging because the thing is, I say this way, when we first meet somebody as a man meeting a woman, our first sense is our sight, to see her, see what she looks like. So it's dangerous for us to say certain things up front anyway.
Yep. So
the best counsel is when you get to meet somebody the first time, take your time before you start complimenting them. Get to know them, get to know more about, maybe it's the sound of their voice, something they said shows their intelligence, their wisdom, their common sense, whatever it is. Then you've got more breadth of material to respond to and to give compliments for. But the challenge is, yes, you may say to them, you look amazing in that dress, and it's honest and it's real. But be authentic. The big thing with compliments is they're more authentic, they're more aligned to honesty, whereas flattery can oftentimes be just made up, shaggy dog stories. They're this falsehood that doesn't last very long. It's almost like, there's an analogy I was going to use, that flattery is basically, it's like paper bag, whereas compliment is a solid metal tin. That'll work.
I like it. Yeah. So what I teach men, when you first are going to meet somebody in person, you can say, wow, you look great. Wow, you look pretty. The whole picture, you could say that. Most women are fine with that. And then never say anything about our bodies for a while. Nothing physical. I don't care what, it could be the nicest thing ever, just don't. Because what Barry's advice is lovely, that now you've been talking for a little while, maybe you've had a phone conversation or at least some emails or texts, and you remember something they said, oh my gosh, that was such a good point. I wanted to find out more about that. Well, I really like how you think about that. Or wow, I wanted to learn more about this job you have or this hobby you have. So then you can now have a broader, bigger breadth of things to compliment us about. And then later you could say, gosh, I loved your eyes and you have the best smile. But right away, we generally would like you to pay attention to something else besides our physicality initially, which is one of the most dangerous things to try to meet somebody at the gym.
Yes.
I went by a ladies' gym the other day. Can I tell you how many clothes they were wearing? When you go to the mixed gender gym, how little clothes the women are wearing? I said, I wondered about this, and now I've proven my theory. I laughed out loud at the whole thing. I had my whole little experiment going. So the poor guys, my eyes are up here. My eyes are up here. Tell me why you think I have to do a really good workout. Wow, I'd love to learn how to use that machine.
It's funny. I saw something online last week, I think it was, about there's a new dating trend which is based on exercise. It's almost like it's happening. It's in New York. I'm not sure about other parts of the country, but there's a couple of sites. It's for 20-somethings mostly, I believe, where basically that you meet up to do a 5K run or to go for a walk or to go to the gym, and you actually meet socially. Like say, you meet your dates is in those environments. That's the new thing. So no longer is it like, eyes are up here, don't even look at me in the gym. It's no, now it's flipped the script completely the other way around. Yes, that look on your face is telling.
Yeah, we talk so much about finding something with a common interest and do it together. How cool is that? And I am not going to make any recommendations about what women wear or don't wear to the gym. I'm just saying, don't be upset if a man looks at you at the gym. And what's really funny is the women who complain, I'm like, really look, because often you're just staring off in space. When you're working out, you usually are doing one thing at a time. You're concentrating on your workout. You're counting your reps. You're making sure you're using your muscles properly. And if you're looking in our direction, you not necessarily are looking at us. You might have noticed that we're there, and you're going to notice when you're done with your single focus on what you're doing, but you're not generally staring at us the whole time, but we think you are, which is kind of self-centered of us. But if you are wearing skin tight, little bits of stuff, I'm going to say, let him look. Let him look.
Well, the thing is,
it's part of who you are.
Well, the question I have then for the women watching is, if you do go to the gym dressed in leotards and skinny sort of stuff, who's that for? If you go to the gym, wouldn't it be better to wear sweats so you can actually work up a sweat and get more toxicity system and everything else? I mean, I wear shorts and hoodie too. But it's even when I'm hiking on the trails, I see such a spectrum of what people wear, men and women, and it is. I mean, the trails is easier because basically you pass them. That's it. There's no like spending time like looking at them. Whereas at the gym, you're stationary because you're looking at somebody else. So it's challenging. For me, that thing was the gym is definitely for men a good place to go enjoy the view. Frankly, that's the way it is, and it's not right, wrong. It's just what it is. So, ladies, don't take offense to the fact we're enjoying the view, because we're not doing anything beyond that. We're just appreciating how you look. And if you're wearing those outfits that are extremely attractive, it's going to be attractive to us to see.
And we always tell the truth on our show, don't we, Barry?
Right.
We don't have to believe us or like us. It's just, this is the truth.
Yeah.
So how nice if you can wear these really tight little things and your body looks fabulous. And how nice if a man looks at you. The line that would be a problem was if he said anything that was inappropriate, which generally I do not hear that happening. Hardly ever. And sometimes the women have completely missed it because also, tell me what he said. Exactly what did he say? So it's tiny, almost non-existent. So, and I have said it out loud that when a man asks me out and we're sitting across the table from each other, I assume he likes my body. He wouldn't be sitting there if he didn't like my body. And he wasn't thinking about how nice it would be to give me more attention with my body. And I'm the person that gets to set the tone of, we're not talking about it for a while, and we're certainly not doing anything about it for a while. But I am so normally know that, of course, he thinks about it. I wouldn't want somebody sitting across from me that wasn't super attracted to me, because that would be silly. That would be so unnatural. The manufacturer installation person put this inside of you. Well, I'm never upset or offended. But if they've ever said something that was leading in that direction, I say, no, I don't have that conversation for at least 3 months. What do you think about that? And most have been fine. The few that weren't, I went, oh, I guess we're not seeing each other again because we're not on the same page.
That's simple.
It seems simple to me.
No, we're going to take a break in a minute, so we'll save the rest for after the break.
Yes, more talking about flattery and compliments.
Yes.
And gyms.
Or not.
This has piqued your interest about, wow, I never thought about it that way. And I'd like to learn more about that and how to give more sincere compliments and receive sincere compliments. I'd be happy to talk to you. And the way to do that is to go to my website, which is theperfectcatch.com, and go to the middle of the page and click on what's holding you back from love. It's a questionnaire with 8 brief questions about where you are now and where you'd like to be. So you get clear about that, and then you send it to me and I'm clear about it before a phone call. And then you get to schedule a complimentary conversation with me at your convenience. You could also send me an email at christine@theperfectcatch.com. And how would people reach you, Barry?
So similar to Christine, if you want to talk to me, go to my website, which is my name, which is barryselby.com. And on the homepage of my website, the button at the top of the page is the link that goes to my calendar. So click on the Let's Have a Conversation, takes you to my calendar, where basically you can schedule an appointment with me on my calendar to fit your schedule. And we have a Zoom chat. There's 20 minutes gift from me to you. And really, it's a chance for us to get to know each other a bit better. If I can help you right there, I will. And also to see if we want to work together. Simple, straightforward. And if you want to send me an email, at barry@barryselby.com.
And we're going to take a brief station break with the station that streams our episodes. It's called the newstreamingnetwork.com. And then we'll be back shortly with more Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry.
See you in a moment.
That was a lovely word from the newstreamingnetwork.com. They put out our video episodes and our podcasts for us. We're very grateful. Today, we're talking about the difference between flattery and compliments, because there really is a difference in how it feels when you're giving them and it feels with when you're receiving them. So we are making a premise that they're not the same and how to recognize the difference.
Yeah.
So this is Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry. So, Barry, we could talk about how to get really good at delivering positive compliments to people, because we talked a little bit about the danger zone of giving compliments to women, poor men. But even women we'll say, oh, what a pretty dress. And she'll explain to us about the sale she got it on. And we we admire that. But you feel like, I've heard men, there's a sense of, does she think I was lying? Which you aren't. And it's not that we think you're lying, but we don't believe it ourselves. So it bounces off of us, which is really sad, because it would help if we would take it in, that we would stop feeling this lack of self-confidence about our body or our mind or whatever. That if we would, wow, he really meant that. Even if he's not my person, we were just standing somewhere and they said, gosh, that's such a great outfit. Or, wow, you made a good point right then when you were talking to somebody. And let it come in so that you can feel like you're getting more positive reinforcement, also called compliments, in the world. Because you guys are, if we would allow it, if we would relax and stop misunderstanding, you really are good at giving compliments.
It's something that's innate within us, to be blunt. I mean, the truth is, at least the men I know, and certainly for myself, is that I would love the woman that I want to be with to feel warmed and loved and appreciated and cared for. So complimenting her will be part of the package, so to speak, or part of the inclusiveness, because it's interesting. I watch people around me, even see couples, when they do and they don't. And when they don't do it, it's almost like something's missing from the picture. But when they do, there's an ease that happens between them. So the complimentary way of being really does add a level of warmth and connection in the relationship as well. So it's not just you compliment somebody to get to know them better and hopefully get wherever you want to go with them, but it's also a way of maintaining the connection and the intimacy as well.
And it's one of the things that I hear a lot. Men and women both feel a very lacking of appreciation about the efforts that they make in the world, in their town, in their companies, in their families, because most of the time we're just doing the thing that we need to be done, and we do it without asking for a fanfare. And it's really nice if somebody notices and compliments. Wow, you keep the house running so well. Or, wow, even though your job's hard, you come home every day and you're happy with us and the kids. Or, wow, I'd asked you to do the dishes and you did such a good job. Thank you. That those kinds of sincere compliments feel really good, like a payment for what you did, even though it's expected and you're part of the family. And generally as human beings, when you compliment us, we want to go do more of that because we think, oh, maybe I'll get even more compliments for doing this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it has such a reciprocity for both people. It just goes back and forth. If we would just notice and compliment more.
Well, the thing is that it is because compliments are really additive. They become something that just it becomes a lubrication for the relationships, so to speak.
Mhm.
Whereas flattery it falls flat because it's almost like it's like attempting to get something. It's almost not a gift to give, but a hook to pull from.
I think that we're really doing a good job making the difference between these two things, because it just doesn't feel sincere when somebody's just saying stuff, when they're just trying to flatter you. Because even if they're not trying to get something, which is often why, but whatever they're saying just isn't sincere. It's not, don't know you. They're saying stuff that they're guessing, where I remember there was a saying once that said, if you don't really have something to say, don't open your mouth and prove it.
Yeah. But no, the thing is about, well, there's two things. One is about if there's nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
The other one is also it's better to be thought the fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. That's the quote I was thinking.
I love that one. Thank you for quoting it properly.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important to think, is this something sincere? Is this something that it's important for me to say to them? Is it something that will both feel good that I said it? But we women, what we do often is not that we don't notice that you do nice things. We just don't think to say it. But if we see something you need to do differently or you've done wrong, we have lots of words to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So when we decide that we need to do some of that correcting thing, if we've done a bunch of complimenting before that, it lands much better when we say, oh, hun, could you do this differently next time? When you've been so appreciative of 10 things before that already. So getting better at compliments in general has so many benefits to everybody.
That's what I was saying, is like a lubricant, because it does make the relationship work smoothly. And so absolutely, we are suckers for compliments in that sense. Like you adore us, we'll do anything you want.
It's true. It's really true. It's really true. Yeah. Reward you guys for good behavior. You just do more good behavior because you're already doing it. You really do have good intentions, but you'd like to be appreciated for it. And the women, what I tell them, well, nobody appreciates me. I said, then ask. If you make dinner every night for your family, say, okay, family, say thanks for making dinner, mom. Because the thing that you're doing is you're teaching them, if they go to somebody else's house for dinner, they're going to say, thanks for making me dinner, Mrs. Jones. Yeah. So, okay, sometimes you can't take it on yourself that you're going to ask for compliments, but you're teaching your children to be better human beings when they go to other people's houses. And then you get compliments anyway. Absolutely. It helps. It really works.
Compliments are well, I was going to say underutilized in this culture as well, and so it's something I'm aware of, that maybe in this message we're putting out, it's going to help people think about, I can opportunities to do so. Even when you go to the grocery stores, or you go retail stores and you basically buy something, have you ever thought about complimenting the staff for taking care of you? I mean, it doesn't necessarily talk about primary relationship, although this show's about that, of course, for dating and everything else. But you can practice even if you're single out in the world, because frankly, the opportunities are abundant to give compliments to people. And it's good, like you're saying, like when you have the mother ask for compliments at home, when you go to another place to stay and have dinner somewhere else, it becomes easier. Transferable skills. So if you do it out in the world when you're single with people who are just helping you out because it's their job, then when you're with somebody on an intimate level, it becomes easy to say it there as well.
I was having that conversation with a client this morning about, she's been practicing just out in the world, because what everybody always finds is they think they want to wait for the person, and then they go, blah, 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 and they don't know what to say, that the better you are at practicing. Right. It made me think about it when you talked about going to the store, because I go to the same grocery store generally every Saturday to go shopping. And there's often a guy that's going with this big broom up and down the aisles. And I go, I love that. I know that there's going to be clean aisles all the time in this store. And he just smiles because, I don't know how important he feels doing it, but I think it's a really great job. And I have to tell you, the floors are always really clean whenever I go. There's never stuff on the floor in that store. So I look forward to seeing him and tell him. And the produce guy, oh my God, I love the produce at this store. And he's always out there putting it out. And I go, do you know, I could walk to a different grocery store and I drive here because of your, and it's the truth. So it's a sincere thing I'm saying, but he's just like, and what is it you're looking for today? And let me go get you fresh from the back. So it is nice that he does that, but I would do it anyway. But you will find the more that you're nice to people, the nicer they can potentially be back to you. And it just feels good to make people smile. And boy, it is a practice thing. People just need to get in the habit of it.
Yeah, I have a local store I go to, a retail grocery store, and one of the women in there I saw her on a few months ago, and she just has she has like, it's not like an afro, but it's got gray in it as well, and it's just bushy, beautiful, and just sits there just like very very natural. And I finally said to her, like, I just want to say I love your hair. It's just so like alive and so real, and she just loved it. It was just such a nice compliment. And so we smiled at her every time I see her. Not it's like there's no intention of like dating or like that. I just love the way her hair looks, the way she carries herself, and it's just like
it sounds like it had like an energy of its own.
Almost, yeah. But the feeling was also that it was better I felt lighter having said it than if I'd held it in. That's another thing with compliments. If you feel wish to speak, or you feel this desire to add value to somebody's life and you don't do it, you can live in regret afterwards. It's so true about if you meet someone on the street, you don't ask them out if it's something like that. Even compliments are the same energetic, that if you don't say it, it's going to stifle inside of you. So definitely when you feel the urge to compliment somebody, act on it.
And what I always say is if they reacted positively, whoever it is they go home to is going to get them in a better mood. I got to pay it forward to somebody I'll never meet. And
Absolutely.
That's really fun. I mean, that's a really nice, selfish reason to do it. I keep trying to find ways that incentivize us to do these things that we're not practiced at, to encourage us to practice it more, because truly there's no downside. There's only lots of variety of upsides, right? And and the other thing too, the more you give sincere compliments and allow compliments into you, the less you'll be susceptible to that flattery thing. Because some people fall prey to it because they're lonely and they feel so depleted that anything, will be better than nothing. Where if you're now having a more rich time of being fed, giving compliments and allowing them in, you won't fall for all that fluffy stuff.
Yeah,
which is part of what we teach all the time in dating.
Absolutely. No, because flattery basically becomes that sort of Chinese food of compliments. People, they take it on thinking it's going to feel it doesn't feel filling at all. So yes, compliments are much more fulfilling.
Send the emails to Barry about. There's a funny saying about you're going to be hungry in an hour, though. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about, for the next week before you see us again, who you could compliment. Look for people to say positive things to that are doing something. I'm not even sure I mentioned it here. I might have. A few weeks ago there was a prom and there were these cute kids that were in the parking lot and they wore these gorgeous dresses that actually went pretty long instead of like so high. And I was like, oh my God, you all look so beautiful. And then, because we're in the parking lot, the guys walk around and open the door. I go, oh my God, what great manners. This is so cool. I said, I don't know why people are saying young people we're losing hope. I said, I have great hope for all of you. And they just beamed. And the guys like strutted around to get on the driver's side of the car and away they drove. It was such a fun thing to do. It was just such a fun thing to do. So there's opportunities everywhere.
Oh yeah. And the thing again, as I was saying when I was going to go in the store, it's not to be having a hidden agenda where you want to compliment somebody to get something out of them. Is to compliment them so they actually feel they receive something.
Yep.
Because that's the practice you want. Because as I said earlier, when you're in that relationship or you're on the dates, it can sometimes be, as you indicated very clearly, tongue-tied, not trying to compliment somebody. But the reality is, if you have practiced that skills, like any sort of skill that you practice, you get better at. If you use your complimenting skills out in the world for people who are just strangers, just because the people they open the door for you, or they're working the bank and they take care of you, or whatever it is, so that when you're on a date with somebody, your ability to compliment is more free flowing. It's almost like you've undone the stopper so it can flow more easily.
I was picturing a stopper.
I'm just using analogies for them to come from.
I love your analogies. They're wonderful.
Thank you.
We're hoping that this has brought a new perspective. Our goal right now, it's my goal. Like he's saying, I just want people to go, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
The next step is hopefully they open their mind to change, but just to go, oh, well, maybe I could do that, or I would never do that. But at least now you're making a conscious decision. So I hope this episode has made you go, a bunch. Never thought about the difference between those two words. Never thought about how I could practice that in the world. And even the most introverted person, I have taught the most introverted person to say something about the checker. Gosh, what an interesting name, because you have to talk to them to give them your money anyway. So one little teeny sentence, that's all. But there's a couple of introverts that are great. They're happy now that they can order online with their coffee and just get it. And they love that these cars drive them around with nobody in it. They crack me up because they all know that would not be me. I want to talk to anybody that's driving me around.
Absolutely.
So if this has intrigued you and you would like to talk more about it and learn more about it from Barry or I, the way to talk to me is I'll send you back to my website, which is theperfectcatch.com. And at the top of my website is a book. It was 10 years of writing a dating advice column, and my sister-in-law put it together with a book. It's free. Just click on it and you'll receive it. And people have been telling me they're happy with the advice they're getting. If you scroll down a little farther, you can join my mailing list. And on that, every week, you'll get a repeat of this fun podcast that Barry and I do, delivered right to your mailbox, and also other updates about things that are going on in my life. If you scroll to the very bottom of the screen, you'll see all my social media, Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube and Twitter. And YouTube, if you click on that, we're well over 280 podcasts now. Can't believe it. It's pretty fun. And then if you go back to the middle of the screen, you'll see a questionnaire that's called What's Holding You Back from Love. And if you click on that, you have 8 brief questions to talk about. This is where I am. This is where I think I'd like to be. And then you can schedule a complimentary conversation with me over Zoom or on the phone. And we'll talk about what's going on right now. I promise you will leave with some helpful information. And then we can decide together if you would like to talk more. And you can also send me an email at christine@theperfectcatch.com. And how would people reach you, Barry?
Similar again, you go to my site, which is my name this time, much easier to find, which is barryselby.com. And as I mentioned before, at the top of the screen is the button you click on to get on my calendar. That's the Let's Have a Conversation button, and it takes you where you get scheduled with a conversation with me over Zoom. We can talk and see where we want to work together, and also give you some advice and counsel right there. At the bottom of the homepage of my website is the opt-in, just join my email list. If you don't even want to set up an appointment or anything else, you can just put your name and email in there, go to my email, join you on my email list. You'll get a weekly email from me with this show in the email. So you get a rerun of the show every week we do this, and any other things I'm working on. Let's say there's something at the end of when I get to my email address. At the middle of the screen on my website, on my homepage, is the first of my 2 assessments, the quizzes I created. One is the relationship readiness assessment, which is you go to barryselby.com/quiz, or click on the quiz button in the middle of the screen. That takes you to see if you're really ready for a relationship, and it gives you some really good questions to consider and ponder. Then you got an email from me afterwards with some counseling advice and a couple of links. If you want to do the deeper version, which is the self-relationship assessment, that you right now will be on my site soon. It's not there yet. But if you go to barryselby.com/self-quiz and you get to that one, that's a much deeper reflection, because it's really about your relationship with yourself, the one in the mirror. And that covers 7 areas of your life that are really deep introspection, reflection to see where you are and what you're looking for. And if it really is how your relationship with yourself is working first before you have a relationship with somebody else. So I recommend doing that as well. If you're only going to do one, do the self-quiz. If you're doing both, do both quizzes. Also, you can find me on all the social media platforms under my name, Barry Selby, except for 2 places. Book first. Thank you, Severio. I just mentioned my book. I'm sitting with on my shelf behind me, and I didn't even mention them. If you go to my book page, either by clicking on the navigation or go to barryselby.com/book, you can see the first of my books. I'm working on a couple other ones, but this is the one that's out now, called 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. It's been out since 2013. It's been a bestseller. And if you want to find out more about how the book sounds and what the book's about, there's an audio track recorded that's on the top of that page. You click on the audio track and you can listen to these 2 very smart voices discussing my book in great detail. Once you've listened to that, you'll be more excited to get my book. And there's buttons at the bottom of the page take you to Amazon, or you can get it from my website directly, or you can get the Kindle version or the ebook version. Social media. Get back to social media in the right sequence. So my name is my handle on most of my social media platforms. So on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Blue Sky, and now TikTok. I'm back on TikTok doing videos again. Did another one yesterday. And also, if you want to find me on YouTube as well, under Barry Selby, where I have all these shows recorded, plus another 1,000 videos. So if you want to immerse yourself in my work, I've got tons of content you can watch and consider and like and maybe take feedback from. Social media wise, otherwise you can find me on Instagram and Threads under the real Barry Selby. It's the place it's not my regular name, but otherwise you find me as Barry Selby everywhere else. And again, you can send me an email at barry@barryselby.com. And a quick reminder, I'm actually interviewing people. I'm doing research into my focus niche, working with long-term singles. And if you feel like you are a long-term single, whatever that means to you, and you want to be one of my interviewees, send me an email at barry@barryselby.com and let me know you're interested, and I'll put you on the calendar. It's a 20-something questionnaire I ask you over Zoom. It is recorded so I can review it later, because I don't want to actually make notes whilst I'm talking to you. And it's all confidential and just helps me build clarity about what people are looking for and what they need. Fair deal? Appreciate your help. Yes.
So we're here live every Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific and 4 o'clock Eastern. So you can watch us live and submit questions, and we'll answer them on the air. If you want to watch us on a repeat, you can watch us on YouTube or Roku. But if you'd rather take us with you, how would they do that, Barry?
Well, the wonderful thing is this show is not only as a video, it's also audio. So it does get put up on the podcast platforms. So if you listen to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, look for Let's Talk Dating with Christine and Barry. You can listen to our show wherever you go. And the great thing is, you don't have to worry about looking at it when you're driving or doing other things. You can listen to us with plugged in your ear or however you do it when you're out in the world or just sitting at home. So take us with you wherever you go and learn about relationships. We're good at that stuff.
We are. We're good in this lane. And so if you listen to us and there's somebody that you know that needs to hear it, please share it with them, like us, and leave us a review and subscribe. And we will look forward to seeing you all again next week with a different, interesting dating or relationship comment or episode or advice.
Yes.
I covered all. Bye for now.
See you then.